Welcome to League of Legends Runes Reforged, where we go down Resolve, where you live forever. So, starting with Resolve, I will start by explaining the keystones, then I'll go down the runes, then I'll explain the secondary buffs. To start with, we'll be talking about Grasp of the Undying. Every 4 seconds in combat, your next basic attack on an enemy champion will deal bonus magic damage equal to 4% of your max health, heal you for 2% of your max health, permanently increase your health by 5. For ranged champions, damage and healing are halved and gain 2 permanent health instead. Next, we'll be looking at Aftershock. After immobilizing an enemy champion, increase your armor and magic resist by 20 plus 30% for 2.5 seconds, then explode, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies. This has a cooldown of 20 seconds. The damage from Aftershock is 40 to 140 plus 3.5% of your maximum health. Guardian. Guard allies within 175 units of you, and allies you target with spells for 2.5 seconds. While guarding, if you or an ally take damage, both of you gain a shield and are hasted for 1.5 seconds. This is much like a Face of the Mountain shield, but very short and gives you extra haste. Haste, on the other hand, is 20% movement speed. The shielding scales with 0.2 AP and 10% bonus health. Now we'll be moving down towards the runes. Unflinching. After casting a summoner spell, gain 15% tenacity and slow resistance for 10 seconds. Additionally, gain 10% tenacity and slow resistance for each summoner spell on cooldown. This keystone will be really good for a champion like Zoe. Zoe can collect summoner spells with her W, and she can reuse them, and it will give you the unflinching effect, giving you tenacity and slow resistance, so it works the same in that way too. Next, Demolish. Charge up a powerful attack against a tower over 4 seconds, while within 600 range of it. The charged attack deals 125 damage, plus 30% of your maximum health as bonus physical damage, which has a cooldown of 45 seconds. Font of Light. Impairing the movement of an enemy champion marks them for 4 seconds. Ally champions who attacks the marked champions heal, and the healing scales with 1% of your maximum health, which goes well when you're playing a tanky support. Iron Skin. Gain 5 armor. Heal effect from consumables. Heals for at least 20 health, and shields increase your armor by 5% for 3 seconds. Mirror Shell. Gain 5 magic resist. Heal effects from consumables. Heals for at least 20 health, and shields increase your magic resist by 5% for 3 seconds. Conditioning. After 10 minutes, gain 8 armor and 8 magic resist, and increase your armor and magic resist by 5%. Overgrowth. Permanently gain 0.2 maximum health for every 8 monster or enemy minions that die near you. Revitalize. Heals and shields you cast are 5% stronger and increased by an additional 10% on targets below 40% health. Second Wind. After taking damage from an enemy champion, heal for 4% of your missing health, plus 6 over 10 seconds. Now we'll be moving to the secondary buffs for taking Resolve. When taking Resolve on your primary, taking anything on the secondary rune page will give you a bonus 130 health. This applies for all rune paths, and Resolve is all about living forever, being durable, and having crowd control. Now for gameplay, when you're using Grasp of the Undying, this is more of a late game keystone. When you play champions that heavily rely on health late game, this will be very useful as well. Health scaling champions benefit off this, and it becomes harder late game for people to kill you, as long as you keep up the farming. A good example for someone using Grasp of the Undying is Shen. Shen can build health over time and over the game as it passes by. When taking Demolish, you're gonna need health for taking down a tower too, as it scales with the amount of health you have. Shen has health scaling within his passive and his E, and building health just makes it harder for enemies to kill you. As this permanently increases your health, you'll be getting more tankier over time, and it'll make it a lot harder for enemies to kill you. This benefits you damage-wise, it scales well with your rune, and you'll be more of a threat late game. Now looking over at Aftershock, you get a shockwave after immobilizing an enemy, and this is best used for melee champions that immobilize enemies, as you have to be close for the shockwave to hit them. This is most likely used on top lane for champions that need resistance and want to go all in most of the time. This can work on Maokai, Shen, Sion, just a bunch of tank champions that do let off quite a lot of damage. This also can be used in support. As it does AoE damage, you can go in and immobilize 2 enemies or 1. As long as you have 2 of the enemies together, the Aftershock will hit both of them, and will also provide you with resistance. Keep in mind, you'll have resistance after immobilizing an enemy, so it's good to go all in and focus down that ADC. Unless there is a Soraka, then good luck focusing her down. And lastly, look looking over at Guardian. Guardian is really good for champions that have a lot of health and have a decent amount of shielding. The shield that you get from Guardian is actually quite a lot, and you get haste when Guardian is proc. It's much like a Face of the Mountain shield, just like having a secondary shield, and it's always good to keep that on you to keep you protected and have a free shield. This is really good for a champion like Braum. As you can only guard allies within 175 units, Braum sticks together with his allied champion, meaning he'll provide them with a Guardian shield when being hit. Thanks for tuning in within this Runes Reforged Resolve video. If you guys want to see more, here's a bunch of other rune paths that you guys can discover. Check the description below to check out the guy who actually helped me with this. And thanks to all my friends that contributed within helping me within the replays and everything else. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.